Did you know that the vegetables you're eating, yes, the ones you believe are keeping you healthy, could actually be speeding up aging, damaging your heart, and even clouding your memory? For Americans over 60, this isn't a scare tactic. It's a reality backed by research many seniors never hear about. Every day, millions of older adults sit down to meals filled with vegetables they've trusted their entire lives. None. Not realizing that some of them can quietly trigger inflammation, disrupt hormones, raise blood sugar, and strain vital organs already working harder with age. But here's the part no one talks about. While a few vegetables can slowly chip away at your health, others have the power to reverse damage, strengthening your brain, protecting your heart, boosting immunity, and helping you stay independent well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Tonight, we're going to uncover the 4 worst vegetables you should never touch after 60, the ones that silently work against your body. And then, we'll reveal the 4 vegetables you should be eating consistently, the ones proven to nourish your cells, support longevity, and help you feel clearer, stronger, and more alive. If you've ever wondered why you're doing everything right but still feeling more tired, stiffer, or foggier with each passing year, the answer may be sitting right on your dinner plate. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Part 1. 4 worst vegetables seniors over 60 should avoid. 1. Raw kale. For years, raw kale has been praised as a superfood, filling grocery stores, smoothie bars, and senior nutrition guides across America. But for adults over 60, this dark leafy green can quietly work against your health, especially when eaten raw. The danger starts with compounds called goitrogens, naturally present in raw kale. These substances interfere with your thyroid, the tiny gland in your neck responsible for regulating energy, mood, metabolism, and even memory. As we age, the thyroid naturally slows down, and adding goitrogen-heavy foods can push it into deeper imbalance. The result? Fatigue that feels unshakable, brain fog mistaken for early memory loss, cold hands and feet, and an unexplained rise in blood pressure or cholesterol. And that's only the beginning. Raw kale is also high in oxalates, crystals that build up quietly in the kidneys. Doctors across the country have reported rising cases of oxalate-related kidney stones among older adults who switched to heavy green smoothie diets, believing they were doing something good. One patient story comes from Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher in Ohio. She drank kale smoothies 5 times a week because she wanted to age the healthy way. Within months, she developed kidney pain so severe she ended up in the ER, only to learn that her daily kale habit was the root cause. What many seniors don't realize is that eating raw kale can place real stress on a body already working harder to maintain balance. Even seasoned nutritionists and geriatric physicians urge older adults to cook kale, not blend it raw, because gentle heat destroys goitrogens and reduces oxalates to safer levels. It might look like a harmless green leaf, but raw kale can quietly disrupt your hormones, strain your kidneys, and mimic symptoms of aging that feel frightening when they appear without warning. And if a single healthy vegetable can cause this much hidden trouble, wait until you discover the next one, because it's something almost every American senior eats every single week. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Corn and corn-based products. Across America, corn is woven into everyday meals. Cornbread at family gatherings, corn on the cob at summer cookouts, and corn tortillas in countless kitchens. But for seniors over 60, this familiar vegetable carries hidden dangers that quietly strain the body in ways many never notice until it's too late. The trouble begins with its high glycemic load, a scientific term doctors use to describe how fast corn sends blood sugar soaring. For older adults whose bodies already struggle with insulin sensitivity, those repeated spikes can gradually damage nerves, cloud memory, and accelerate inflammation in the joints and arteries. Many seniors think they're choosing a harmless side dish, but physiologically, corn behaves more like sugar than a vegetable. What's even more concerning is the presence of residual pesticides found in much of the corn grown in the United States, especially genetically modified varieties engineered to withstand chemical spraying. Physicians who work with older adults report increasing cases of digestive irritation, unexplained fatigue, and inflammation linked to long term exposure to these residues. The lining of the gut becomes more fragile with age, and pesticides can irritate it further, leading to discomfort seniors often blame on just getting older. Take David, a 68-year-old retiree from Arizona. He loved his evening bowl of corn chowder, believing it was a simple, comforting choice. Over months, he noticed swelling in his feet, sharp drops in energy, and trouble stabilizing his blood sugar. Only after meeting with a geriatric nutrition specialist did he learn that his daily corn intake was triggering the very symptoms he feared were signs of a chronic illness. Once he removed corn from his diet, those issues slowly improved. Corn tastes nostalgic and feels familiar, but for seniors, its impact can be far more disruptive than expected, raising blood sugar, feeding inflammation, and adding strain to organs already working hard to maintain balance. And if corn, a vegetable we've trusted for generations, can quietly undermine senior health, the next vegetable on this list is even more unsettling because its danger doesn't come from the food itself, but from the container it comes in. 3. Canned tomatoes. For seniors across the United States, canned tomatoes feel like a simple, comforting pantry staple, perfect for soups, stews, and homemade sauces. But behind that familiar red color lies a hidden threat that becomes more dangerous with age. The real danger has nothing to do with the tomato itself, but with the lining of the can. Most canned tomato products in America still use linings containing BPA, a chemical known to disrupt hormones and stress the nervous system. When paired with the natural acidity of tomatoes, BPA doesn't just sit quietly, it leaches aggressively into the food, turning a seemingly harmless ingredient into something far more concerning for older adults. Doctors who work with seniors often see subtle symptoms long before a diagnosis is ever made. Unexplained spikes in blood pressure, irregular heartbeats, insomnia, sudden mood changes, and lapses in memory that families initially dismiss as age catching up. Yet many of these symptoms mimic the hormonal disruptions caused by long term BPA exposure. For older adults whose bodies already process toxins more slowly, the accumulation becomes even more pronounced. A vivid example comes from Clara, a 74-year-old widow from Michigan. She cooked with canned tomatoes nearly every day, chili on Mondays, spaghetti sauce on Wednesdays, tomato soup on weekends. Over time, she developed dizzy spells, nighttime anxiety, and a strange fluttering in her chest. Her cardiologist found no immediate heart disease, but a nutrition specialist later traced her symptoms to daily exposure to BPA rich canned tomatoes. When Clara switched to tomato products packaged in glass, her symptoms gradually faded, leaving her shocked that such a small detail had such a deep impact on her health. What feels like an innocent shortcut in the kitchen can quietly burden the heart, disrupt hormones, and imitate the earliest signs of cognitive decline. leaving seniors confused about what's happening to their bodies. And if canned tomatoes can cause this kind of silent, chemical driven damage, the final vegetable on this list is even more alarming because its danger multiplies every time it touches heat. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number one below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number four. Four, fried potatoes and processed potato products. For many seniors in America, fried potatoes, French fries, hash browns, crispy frozen potato patties feel like a familiar comfort from earlier years. They show up at diners, church breakfasts, backyard cookouts, and family gatherings. But for adults over 60, these golden, crunchy potatoes can quietly become one of the most damaging vegetables on the plate. The danger begins the moment potatoes meet high heat. When fried or baked at intense temperatures, they produce acrylamide, a chemical that neurologists warn can interfere with the brain's signaling pathways. Over time, even small repeated exposures can contribute to tremors, delayed reflexes, mood instability, and memory difficulties. Symptoms many seniors believe are simply part of aging. Doctors who work with older adults see patterns too familiar to ignore: rising inflammation, unstable blood sugar, and sudden spikes in blood pressure in patients who consume fried potatoes several times a week. Because potatoes are rich in fast digesting starch, they behave almost like pure sugar once they hit the bloodstream. For seniors whose insulin response weakens with age, those rapid blood sugar surges can create long term strain on the heart, the nerves, and even the eyes. The combination of acrylamide, oxidized oils, and starch makes fried potatoes uniquely harmful for an aging body. One story comes from Harold, a 70-year-old retired mechanic from Missouri. He loved stopping at his local diner for breakfast: 2 eggs, sausage, and a generous side of hash browns. Months later, he noticed his hand shaking slightly when holding his coffee mug. He felt more tired, more irritable, and struggled with sudden drops in energy. His doctor found no immediate neurological disease, but a dietitian quickly pointed to his heavy intake of fried potatoes. When Harold reduced them and switched to roasted vegetables, his symptoms gradually eased, revealing how quietly those crispy potatoes had been affecting him. What looks like a harmless breakfast side can slowly chip away at balance, memory, and heart health in ways most seniors never expect. And now that we've uncovered the hidden dangers, it's time to explore the opposite side of the story: the four vegetables that can actually strengthen the brain, protect the heart, and help seniors age with clarity and confidence. Part 2: Four best vegetables for people over 60 in the USA. 1. Steamed broccoli. For seniors across America, steamed broccoli may look like just another simple green vegetable. But for those over 60, it holds a powerful, almost medicinal value that many underestimate. What makes broccoli so remarkable is its concentration of sulforaphane, a natural compound scientists have studied for years for its ability to calm chronic inflammation, the very inflammation that stiffens joints, clouds memory, and accelerates aging. Geriatric physicians often say that sulforaphane works like a quiet fire extinguisher, cooling the silent inflammation that builds up in older adults after decades of stress, medications, and environmental exposure. Steaming broccoli is crucial. It preserves sulforaphane while keeping the vegetable gentle on an aging digestive system. For seniors struggling with fatigue, heaviness after meals, or irregular digestion, steamed broccoli provides nutrients without overwhelming the stomach. It's also one of the richest sources of vitamin K, a nutrient essential for bone strength and cognitive stability. Studies show that people with adequate vitamin K levels tend to have clearer thinking and stronger memory, two concerns that weigh heavily on older adults. Consider the story of Linda, a 69-year-old grandmother from North Carolina. She had been fighting persistent knee pain, brain fog, and trouble sleeping. On her doctor's advice, she began replacing her usual sides, rice, pasta, even canned vegetables, with steamed broccoli 3 to 4 times a week. Within months, she noticed her joints feeling looser, her thoughts sharper, and her energy steadier throughout the day. What seemed like a small dietary shift quietly reshaped her quality of life. Steamed broccoli may be humble, but for seniors, it's one of the most protective foods nature offers, supporting the brain, the bones, and the immune system all at once. And if steamed broccoli can bring such surprising strength, wait until you discover the next vegetable, one that supports vision, memory, and longevity in a way few others can match. 2. Cooked spinach. For seniors across America, cooked spinach holds a quiet strength that many overlook, but it becomes especially powerful after age 60 when the brain, heart, and nervous system require more precise nourishment than ever before. What makes spinach so vital in its cooked form is how it transforms once gently heated. Cooking reduces harmful oxalates that can irritate aging kidneys, while unlocking higher absorption of folate, iron, and lutein, three nutrients geriatric physicians consistently emphasize for older adults. Folate supports cognitive stability, iron helps prevent fatigue and anemia, and lutein nourishes the eyes, protecting against the macular degeneration that threatens the independence of so many seniors. Doctors who specialize in senior nutrition often warn that folate deficiency is one of the hidden drivers behind forgetfulness, mood changes, and slower thinking in older adults. Cooked spinach becomes a direct, natural solution. Meanwhile, its rich supply of vitamin K strengthens bones and helps stabilize blood pressure. Two concerns that quietly grow more dangerous with time. The fiber in spinach also supports digestion, easing constipation that affects nearly half of Americans over 65, especially those taking multiple medications. A meaningful story comes from Robert, a 73-year-old Navy veteran from Virginia. He began experiencing lightheaded spells and moments of confusion, believing they were early signs of dementia. But after blood work revealed low folate and iron levels, his doctor advised adding cooked spinach to his weekly routine. Robert was skeptical. How could a vegetable change anything? Yet after 6 weeks, he felt steadier, more alert, and less anxious about memory lapses that once frightened him. He often said, "I didn't get younger, but I finally felt like myself again." Cooked spinach may seem humble, but for seniors, it delivers a steady, calming strength the body deeply recognizes. And if spinach can revive the brain and relieve the body so gently, the next vegetable does something even more remarkable because it supports heart health in a way few foods on earth can match. 3. Sweet potatoes. For seniors across America, sweet potatoes may seem like a simple comfort food, soft, mildly sweet, and easy on the stomach. But behind that gentle flavor lies a vegetable that supports an aging body in ways few others can. Unlike white potatoes, which send blood sugar soaring, sweet potatoes release energy slowly and steadily. Geriatric nutrition specialists often recommend them because their low glycemic index helps protect seniors from the dangerous sugar spikes that strain the heart, cloud the mind, and accelerate nerve damage. For older adults already facing insulin resistance or prediabetes, this slow release energy is not just helpful, it's protective. What makes sweet potatoes even more extraordinary is their rich supply of beta carotene, the pigment that gives them their orange glow. Once inside the body, this pigment converts into vitamin a nutrient essential for immune function and eye health. Ophthalmologists who treat seniors warn that the retina becomes more vulnerable with age, especially in low light. Sweet potatoes provide antioxidants that shield the eyes from oxidative stress, delaying the progression of night blindness and age related vision decline. At the same time, their high fiber content supports digestion, an issue many seniors silently struggle with, keeping the gut regular and reducing inflammation throughout the body. A heartfelt reminder of their impact comes from Walter, a 76-year-old veteran from Florida. He often felt drained by mid morning, relying on sugary snacks to get through the day. His doctor urged him to replace those snacks with half a baked sweet potato. Within weeks, Walter noticed his energy lasted longer, his digestion felt smoother, and even his eye doctor remarked that his retinal health looked more stable than the year before. He said it was the first time in years he felt his body working with him instead of against him. Sweet potatoes offer nourishment that strengthens from the inside out, steady energy, sharper vision, and calmer blood sugar. And if this humble root can bring such balance, the final vegetable on the list goes even further, offering a level of protection that researchers call one of the closest things to nutritional armor for seniors. 4. Brussels sprouts. For seniors across the United States, Brussels sprouts may seem like a simple side dish, yet this small green vegetable holds one of the most powerful nutritional shields an aging body can rely on. What sets Brussels sprouts apart is their unique combination of antioxidants, vitamins, and natural compounds that fight the very processes responsible for decline after age 60. Geriatric physicians often highlight that as we grow older, inflammation becomes the silent engine behind joint stiffness, clogged arteries, unstable blood sugar, and even memory loss. Brussels sprouts contain glucosinolates, remarkable plant compounds that convert into molecules helping the body neutralize inflammation at its root, not just mask its symptoms. These tiny cabbages are also rich in vitamin K, a nutrient essential for bone strength and blood vessel protection. Seniors who fall, even from a short distance, often face serious fractures because their bones have lost density over time. Vitamin K supports calcium regulation, allowing bones to stay firm while preventing dangerous calcium buildup in the arteries, which can lead to heart complications. Brussels sprouts also deliver folate, vitamin C, fiber, and even a small but important amount of omega-3 fatty acids from plants, nutrients that support brain health, immune function, and stable digestion. One compelling example is Martha, a 71-year-old retired nurse from Minnesota. She had been dealing with persistent knee pain and rising blood pressure. Her doctor recommended adding Brussels sprouts to her meals 3 or 4 times a week. Reluctant at first, she finally tried roasting them with olive oil. Within weeks, her morning stiffness eased, her energy improved, and her blood pressure readings became more steady. Martha said she never imagined a vegetable she once disliked could bring her body such relief. Brussels sprouts don't just nourish, they help older adults regain strength, confidence, and control over their health. And now that you've discovered the 4 vegetables that support longevity, the final conclusion will show you how even small, consistent choices can reshape the way you age, starting with your very next meal. Your choices today shape your strength tomorrow. As we reach our 60s, 70s, and beyond, the foods we place on our plates become far more than nourishment. They become powerful signals that shape how we think, move, and age. The wrong vegetables can quietly raise inflammation, disrupt hormones, weaken memory, and strain the heart without showing clear warning signs. Yet, the right vegetables can do the opposite. They strengthen bones, calm the mind, support vision, and give older adults the steady energy and confidence needed to live independently. Steamed broccoli, cooked spinach, sweet potatoes, and Brussels sprouts aren't just healthy options. They're foundational tools for longevity. They protect the very systems aging makes most vulnerable: your brain, your heart, your immune defenses, and your balance. And the most hopeful part is this: transformation doesn't require dramatic change. Even adding 2 or 3 of these vegetables each week can create meaningful improvements in clarity, mobility, and overall resilience. Aging doesn't have to feel like slow decline. With the right choices, it can become a season of strength, stability, and renewed control over your health. Your next meal is more powerful than you think because it may decide the quality of the years still ahead. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.